Once upon a time, many centuries ago, the Greeks and the Trojans fought a long war. For 10 long years, the Greeks tried to conquer the wealthy city of Troy, but its tall, strong walls were impossible to break. No matter how hard the Greeks fought, every attack failed, and the Trojans defended their city bravely. One day, King Agamemnon, leader of the Greek army, got really tired of the endless fighting and the many losses his army had suffered. He wanted to find a way to win the war without having to fight another battle. So he called a meeting with his best generals to come up with a plan. Now, all the generals thought for a long time, but couldn't come up with any ideas until one of the generals named Odysseus spoke up. He said, "I have an idea, but it will require a lot of hard work, and we can only do it if all of the Greek soldiers are willing to pretend to be something they are not." His fellow generals asked him what he had in mind, and Odysseus told them, "We will build a giant wooden horse. It will be so big and impressive that it will look like a gift for the gods. But inside the hollow belly of the horse, we will hide some of our strongest soldiers. Then we will pretend to be giving up the war and leave this giant horse on the beach as a gift to the Trojans. I'm sure they'll be too proud to refuse such a valuable prize." The other generals thought about this idea for a moment. If it worked, the war would finally be over. But if the Trojans realized they were being tricked, they would kill everyone hiding inside the horse. Still, they had no other ideas, and so they agreed to go along with Odysseus's plan. The next day, the Greek army built a huge wooden horse. It was so big and took up so much space that it seemed impossible to move. But somehow they managed, and they pulled it down to the beach. Then, as Odysseus had planned, the Greek army pretended to set sail, leaving the horse behind as a gift for the Trojans. Now, when the Trojan scouts came back to the city and told the king what they had seen, the king didn't believe them. At first, he thought there must be more Greek ships hidden somewhere, and he didn't want to make the same mistake twice. So he called a meeting with all the wise men of Troy to get their opinion. Some of the wise men agreed with the king, but old man Lucun warned, "No matter what this gift is, we should never bring anything inside our city walls that came from the Greeks. Let us just leave it there on the beach and send these ambassadors back to tell the Greeks we refuse their gift." But King Priam wasn't having any of it. He said, "This is our chance to end this stupid war once and for all. We can't let the Greeks win. This horse is our victory." And so, despite the warnings from Lucun, the Trojans pulled the huge horse inside their city walls. They paraded it through the streets, while people cheered and celebrated. That night, after everyone had gone home to sleep, the Greek soldiers hid inside the horse, quietly climbed out and opened the gates of the city. Then the rest of the Greek army, which had secretly returned under the cover of darkness, rushed inside and took the city by surprise. The Trojans didn't stand a chance. Their armies were too small compared to the Greek forces, and before long, the whole city had been destroyed. From then on, the Greeks sailed back home, taking the riches of Troy with them. As for the people of Troy, many were killed, and those who survived were forced to flee. And so, thanks to the trickery of the Greek army, the war was finally over. From then on, the Trojan horse became a symbol of trickery. People realized that sometimes deception can succeed where force cannot. The end.